Tony, we got a couple targets for the Buckeyes. One would be Jaden Jackson, defensive lineman, and the other Edwin Spillman, a linebacker who have announced just here in the last day or two when they will make their commitment announcement. I always love these announcements to tell us when they're going to make their announcements, which then later could flip. But anyway, July 13th for Jaden Jackson, and then we've got Edwin Spillman on the 21st, and I'll let you take it away to anything that's on your mind or on your forecast concerning recruiting.
Yeah, it is kind of like a save the date for a wedding that may happen, and then there may be another wedding 2 months after that, and it's like, well, this kind of annuls the first wedding. But yeah, Jaden Jackson is a guy that Ohio State would certainly love to have. Defensive tackle at IMG, who is originally from Indiana, I believe. Sounds like it's a Texas-Ohio State battle at this point. He's really, if you watch his highlights, he gets into the backfield. Ohio State already has a commitment from five-star defensive tackle Justin Scott, but when you watch Jaden Jackson, he looks like a five-star as well in what limited action he's had. I think he's ranked he's a 3-star by 24/7 and a 4-star in the composite, but when you watch him and you look at his offer list, clearly – anybody in the nation would take him. So that happens tomorrow. And from what I've gathered, like you talk to people about him, the people who do the recruiting reporters, they're like, it's odd because it's generally by now you have a pretty good idea, but I guess he's pretty close to the vest. And so they're not sure. And then also I think I may have been told you just also have to watch for Miami just coming around, like what happened with Marquise Lightfoot. Sometimes Miami's offer just comes in and it's like, okay, well, there you go. And we'll see if that one sticks. But yeah, so he could be a Buckeye, but I think maybe most people, and I don't even know if there's any actual crystal balls. There's none on 24/7, but I think the winds may be blowing to Texas, but we shall see.
Yeah. Jaden Jackson, number 446 overall in the country, 6'2", 300-pound defensive lineman, and would help obviously at the defensive tackle position for the Buckeyes. Looks like, according to 24/7, he made official visits here in the month of June, 4 of them. At least he was scheduled to make 4 of them. I guess he would have only made a couple of them. Ohio State, Florida, perhaps he's visited, and then Miami and Texas are his other schools. So making his announcement tomorrow, it seems like Ohio State's as well positioned as anybody for him. They have got a number of guys. I just jotted down. Bill Kurlick from our site did a story with, 6-7 guys that are having announcements upcoming. There's a defensive back, Brandon Jacob, on July 20th, a defensive back, Corian Gibson, on July 22nd, and then 4 really primetime names. These are all national top 100 players who the Buckeyes are either favored or co-favored, right alongside for these guys. And that's the linebacker Kingston Biliamo Asa from California. He's going to announce on July 23rd. Ohio State, USC, and Notre Dame are his top schools. The defensive back Aaron Scott from Springfield, Ohio, July 30th. Ohio State, Michigan, and Oregon. We can talk about him in just a minute. I know that your comrade Kevin Noon was in touch with him yesterday at a camp in the Dayton area, and we can maybe get an update on that. The defensive back KJ Bolden from Georgia, August the 5th. Ohio State or Georgia seem to be the top 2. Most people have him crystal balled to Georgia because his feet are in the state of Georgia currently, I believe. But our Bill Kurlick seems to think Ohio State's got an outside shot at that one. And then a defensive end, Edric Houston, on August the 22nd. Most people have crystal balled him to Ohio State. He's like a national top 40 player. And one more guy, defensive end, Dylan Stewart, the number 13 overall player from the Washington, D.C. area. A lot of people think that Ohio State is the team to beat on him, but I don't have a date specifically. If they're able to get 3 or 4 of these 5 or 6 guys that we just ticked off, then they're going to achieve what we have all been dying for, which is more blue chip talent on the defensive side of the football. and improve the bottom line on that side of the ball. So that's kind of what is out there in the next several weeks. If Jim Knowles, Ryan Day, the defensive staff can close the deal on some of these guys, how big it would be for the Buckeyes, in 2024, 2025, 2026 in particular. Those seasons would be impacted by these players.